business, working cats out like physical fitness. Y'all
Okay.
pay the podcast. No, y'all can't get with this. I used to do a little rhyming back in high school, Big V. Nowhere near where you at, but I can do together, Big V. I could do that.
Corey putting together the 1-2 freestyle before the
Two,
show.
1, 2.
You know what I mean? Yo, this is the Zone Sports Podcast, ladies and gentlemen. There go my guy hitting the human air horns that Zoom always seems to fuck up. But we here. Y'all get the point. Ping, 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 ping. We here and all that. You know what I mean? Yo, you know what, man? One day, we're gonna step our budget up and we're gonna stop using Zoom. Or I may decide to pay for the upscale Zoom. I'm not sure. I gotta look
Oh,
into it. You know what I mean? We might, you know what I mean? But until then, we doing this thing because this is the Zone Sports Podcast. I am one half of your host, your boy Big V. You see my guy over there, man. Tell him who you be, my G.
yo, it's your boy COOL, always wondering what the hell. It's your boy Corey, never telling the same old tired story. It's your boy Cool C, never, and I mean ever, dated a floozy. For those out there in YouTube land and catching us on the video, man, we got the sign out for you right there. Bam! It's your boy
Mm-hmm.
Corey Big Vito. What's happening then?
Man, I ain't know if you was gonna come on the show and introduce yourself as the Black Cow Shanahan. I didn't know what you was gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, man, my identity, what I'm saying, is fluid. Pause. You know what I'm saying? So, I feel like being myself today. But hey, who knows? The Black Shanahan might return during the NFL season. You never know. The Black Brock Purdy, he might return this NFL season. You never know. I mean, it's just, I'm everybody, just not all the time. You know what I'm saying? Pause.
You, you know, I'm glad that you're leading the show off with that. I like that, Corey, because you said that you never know who you're gonna be during the season. You never know. You know what I mean? One thing that we do know um about seasons thus far is that the NBA ain't playing no games. The NBA ain't playing no games. The NBA ain't playing no games, Corey. Let me tell you something, man. They don't care what part of the season it is. They don't care what kind of season you having. The NBA ain't playing no games. If you wonder what I'm speaking on, ladies and gentlemen, we jumping right into it, ladies and gentlemen. This is hot off the press from yesterday evening. You know what I mean? The Denver Nuggets have fired their head coach. I'm gonna just put it out. Corey, what is his name again? What is his name again? I forgot his name. Corey,
Mike Malone.
Mike Malone. Mike Malone got fired yesterday, ladies and gentlemen, after leading the Denver Nuggets to a championship just a few years back.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, Denver Nuggets were champions. And also, might I add, having a hell of a season this year. You know what I mean?
Fourth place.
This is the same coach who just coached Joker and a 60-point triple double, Corey. This is the same Mike Malone, Corey, who has brought this organization a championship. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am befuddled over this. I am fucking befuddled over this. Yo, because let me tell you something. If Mike Malone ain't safe, nobody is. Nobody is safe. And Corey, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the Grizzlies just get rid of their head coach too?
Taylor Jenkins, yeah, about a week or two ago.
Yo, man, listen. Both, in my opinion, both are great head coaches. Mike Jenkins, what he's done with that team, with all the trades that have went on with the Marcus Smart thing and Marcus Smart trade, dealing with Jive's situation, he has completely held this team together, in my opinion, from a coaching standpoint. Corey, he's even had this team in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Yo, whether it be the play in or the playoff, the Grizzlies have been there. And I'm talking about, might I add, this season without Job, they've had a winning record. I don't think people are speaking on it enough, and that is with Mike Jenkins. Yo, do you want to talk about again Malone? We know what he's done. Again, like I spoke on earlier, won this team a championship just 2 years ago, and they gave this man the boot. Corey, the play-in start next week. I just want to put this in perspective for the viewers and listeners. Yo, they have a winning record. This isn't like that. This isn't like they're the Washington Wizards. Respectfully,
Yep.
this isn't like you're going through uh uh kind of whatever gelling turmoil or whatever hell is going on in Phoenix. I can't even figure that whole thing out. How they're having the up and down season they've having with Durant, Booker, and Bill. I don't
Right.
even know. I already spoke on that before. I still can't understand that. Yo, they are getting ready to go to the playoffs, Corey. Not the play in, but the playoffs. Like you said, fourth place. I don't understand this firing, Corey. Please make it make sense to me.
I don't know if I can make it make sense to you, man, but just a little bit of context. So the Memphis Grizzlies and the Denver Nuggets have the same exact schedule of 47 and 32. And that's in the West, right? And we spoke about Taylor Jenkins getting fired a few weeks ago, and now we're talking
Yeah.
about Mike Malone getting fired. And I would say that I don't understand it, and I'm not quite sure if I do understand it, but I do have a hypothesis of what may be going on. Because on the face of it, this doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah.
Because if the players, which obviously somebody got a problem with somebody, right? Because not only did they get rid of Mike Malone, they got rid of their general manager too, Calvin Booth. So they both up out of there. So it is rumored, at least according to NBA Radio, that Calvin Booth and Mike Malone had an issue because the issue was one wants to look at the future, which is the GM, which is their job, by the way. The coach is like, yo, I need stuff right now. And so you start dealing with the salary cap, you start dealing with the first level apron, the second label apron or whatnot, right? And so the GM is like, yo, no, we don't need to spend this money right now. Da. Yo, man, we need to look towards the future. Mike is like, yo, no, we got the Joker here now. Like, we F the future. We need to surround people around this man now, which I kind of agree with, but it ain't my money, so I digress. So here's my thing. This is kind of it ain't 100% parallel, but I'm starting to draw links to the firing of Coach Mack Brown with the North Carolina Tar Heels in football.
Okay.
I think there is some head coaching candidate that is so far off the radar that we're not thinking about. I don't know if this is a college coach. I don't know if this is a former NBA great. I have no idea, right? Because see, the Tar Heels, we pushed out Mac Brown. And it wasn't the fact that I'm not saying that he shouldn't have got, but Coach Brown done enough to say, man, you know what? Okay, y'all moving in another direction. Can I at least put my spin on it? Tar Heels said no, and then enter Bill Belichick. Okay. They fired Coach Brown on a Friday when all he wanted to do was wait till Monday, right? So now let's fast forward back to the NBA. This don't make any sense, right? When Taylor Jenkins of the Memphis Grizzlies got fired, they was respectively in fourth place. Coach Malone, they were in fourth place when he got fired. Now, I mean, so I'm like, who is this guy? Who is this person? Who is this human being? Who is this mammoth of a coach? Because you think about it, Big V, every other coach that's worth a damn, they're gearing up for the playoffs, right? So it can't be anybody active right now at this moment. Okay, well then what about the people who've been eliminated? Well, why would you want them? They're not coaching their team to a playoff, so that's not sexy enough for me to pull the trigger right now today. Off season, different ball game. We've seen in the deal, even with Mike D'Antoni with our Lakers a couple of years ago, where he got fired 5 games into the season, but never, ever. And you're talking about not one, but 2 teams have fired their coach basically a week before the playoffs / play-ins get ready to start. That's the only thing that makes it is somebody on the radar, Big V, who we're not thinking about. Because again, let's just say the Joker had a problem with him. Okay, I would imagine you had a problem with him all year. Hey, so go ahead, work it out during the playoffs, and then we'll address whatever needs to be addressed during the offseason. But you here now, so look, man, I don't see Denver making no noise in the playoffs now. No noise. I do know that it's superstar driven. I understand all of that. Coaches matter. Maybe not as much in the NFL, but it matters to at least some point. I don't see them making no noise. I don't see them getting past the second round.
I was getting ready to ask you that. How does this affect both of these teams right before the playoffs start, especially with a powerhouse like Denver? Like,
Yeah,
yo, how? Like, I was getting ready to ask you. Obviously, you've already answered that. You don't think they're even going to make it past the second round. I mean, Corey, I'm gonna tell you if that that has to be detrimental mentally from the outside looking in. Again, we're not in the organization. This could have been writing on the wall in the locker room. Maybe there's no surprise to this to them. I don't know. To us, this is shocking, especially being that they this is a winning team. This is a winning powerhouse, and y'all have surrounding pieces to go get a chip. You have Jamal Murray. You have what's my guy name uh
you. Oh, you got a few pieces over here. Let me
yeah,
pull up the roster.
tall guy that hurt himself in college but came back to be great. Damn, I forgot his name. He can shoot
Yeah,
it
we
too.
got all right. So all right. So here's who we got. We got Aaron Gordon, Beast, right? You got Joker. You got Spencer Jones. You got Jamal Murray. You got Michael Porter
That's
Jr.
what I'm talking about. Michael Porter Jr.
and your guy Russell Westbrook.
Of course,
If you want to
absolutely.
call that an asset or not, Big V,
It,
he did kind of blow the game. You know what? Russell Westbrook might be the reason he got
we're not
because
gonna do
he
this.
blew that game the
We,
other
we're
day.
not gonna do this. You're not gonna do this
He,
on this show.
he
No,
might have. Hey,
you're
he
not going. You're not gonna start that rumor on this show. On my stop it now. No,
Russell Westbrook got Coach Malone fired. I'm saying it here right now. He got him booted up out of there because he stole the ball, missed a wide open layup last week, or Big V, and got him up out of there, and then foul old buddy. And you know what? We talking about Coach Malone got fired. He didn't get fired, Big V. He quit. He quit. He quit because the Joker wanted Russell Westbrook on his team, and he said, "No, Russell Westbrook got to go." The Joker stormed to upper management and say, "Yo, this mofo want to get rid of top 75 Russell Westbrook," and he said, "Yo, nah, either Westbrook go or I go." Mike Malone said, "I'm gonna change my name from Mike Malone to Post Malone because I'm up out of here if we keeping Russell Westbrook. Get him out! Get him out!" That's what happened, Big V. You heard it here first.
no, you didn't hear it. No, this was no, you didn't hear anything here first. No. You did not hear that on the Zone Sports Podcast. No, ignore everything that Corey just said. It did not go down like that. No, Russell Westbrook, shout out to you, top 75. You know what I mean? No, we're not gonna do that. No, man. No,
Took
man. No.
myself down with that one there, Big V.
Oh
Took
my
myself down
goodness,
with that one.
man.
That was a good one. I got to give myself a round of applause. That was a good one right there, Big V.
You are insane, dude. Um, I really just can't imagine the locker room at this.
Yeah,
Corey, we haven't seen anything this blasphemous since the Doc River signing. We haven't.
you right. You right, yeah.
They clipped their head coach on one of the greatest seasons that the Bucks organization had.
That was number one, if I'm not mistaken, Big V, when they got him up. Yeah.
Corey.
But at least it won't 4 games before the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. This is
You're right.
bad.
I forgot about that one, Big V. Good point.
Yeah, this is bad, man. This is bad. Yeah, we gotta have to see how they're gonna adjust in the playoffs. You got them not even making it out of the second round.
Yeah.
Um, I, I, I don't even know no more. I am that befuddled. I don't even know no more. I
Nobody.
had I had them giving us the Lakers, that is, a hard time coming out of the West.
Yeah. Yeah.
I still kind of do, but
I feel a lot better than I felt 2, 3 days ago. I tell you
uh,
that. Because you know what, real quick, Big V, I know we got to wrap on this. The everybody's talk about, pick your poison, like who would you rather play and stuff like that, with your respective squads or whatever. And Denver was a team I did not want to see at
yeah,
all at
yeah.
any points in the playoffs. And I know Jamal Murray, he's hurt, he's not the same guy, whatever, but still, like, Denver is our kryptonite. I know we beat them in the regular season, but regular season and playoff is two totally different things.
This is totally off script. But you know what, man? Fuck it. We gonna have the conversation. I was I was listening to this new podcast that the guys Rory and Maul have called Rory and Maul Don't Know Ball. Shout out to them. I love the podcast. I love the regular podcast, and I love the Rory and Maul Don't Know Ball podcast too. They recently had Tim Hardaway on there. And that was speaking to him, and it just jogged my memory of just how great that whole Warrior squad was, man, with Tim Hardaway,
Yeah,
Mitch Richmond,
yeah.
um, Chris Mullin. So it got me to thinking, Corey, and yeah, we're gonna have this conversation. Who are you starting your team with, Corey, if you have the pick between Tim Hardaway and Mark Jackson?
Hey,
I'm taking it there. I'm taking it there. I am taking it there. Yes, yes. That because I was thinking about how nasty Tim Hardaway was, man,
yeah,
and I got to thinking, damn, Mark Jackson was an animal too. So I'm
yeah.
thinking, like, if I had to pick, this is how my mind worked. Like,
They
who
both good, man.
who would I pick, dog? If like, I don't even know. I honestly couldn't answer the question. I had to bring it to the pod, man. Who you
Yeah.
who you picking, man?
I'm going to be a little bit more biased because I felt like I've seen this man play more than the other.
Okay.
Uh, gosh, I'm by a smidge. I'm gonna go with Tim Hardaway. Just,
Okay.
just, just by a smidge. I felt like I've seen more of Tim Hardaway's games than I did Mark Jackson. I mean, obviously, we ain't had a lead pass like we got
Of
now and all
course.
that stuff
Yeah.
there. And I just think that how explosive Tim Hardaway. Matter of fact, he might have been the first basketball player that I give nicknames to. My wife knows this to a T. Whenever I'm watching the game, most players that I root for, that's on my team, or that I really admire, they got like nicknames. And so, there used to be this rapper used to rap with Luke named Tim Dog, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, Tim Hardaway, like this guy's a dog. I started calling him Tim Dog. He might have been the first guy I've gave a nickname, an unofficial nickname to, and I used to call that dude Tim Dog. And I would say Tim Hardaway, but man, no argument.
Yeah, it's no right or
Gosh,
wrong
Mark
answer.
Jackson was so cold though, man.
Yeah, I think I would start mine with Mark Jackson. Just for the flash. And don't get
God,
it. And listen. Tim Hardaway put the killer crossover in the game. Like let's start there. You know what I mean? Tim Hardaway was insane. You talking about small guy, tough as I don't know what, handles crazy, could drive to the hoop, get his own basket, all that. Mark Jackson, same way. Just he was just a little bit more flashier than Tim. That's it.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Again, no right or wrong answer. I just had to bring it up. You know what I
yeah,
mean? You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? March Madness is finally over, Corey. We have
yeah.
we have our winners in the men's division and in the women's division. If you've been on the rock, ladies and gentlemen, Florida won the other night. You know what I mean? They beat Houston in a tight game, and a come from behind game too. Pause for Florida. What a game! I text Corey and I told him I had Houston by 8. He
Yeah.
told me he was taking Florida. Of course, I was wrong. Corey was right. In the women's division, we had Connecticut, you know what I mean, winning that chip. You know what I'm saying? Getting your boy Gino, what his 11th or 12th ring, one of the
I
two.
think it's number 12 for that guy.
Yeah,
My,
yeah, and they beat the Lady Gamecocks of South Carolina. Shout out to Don Staley.
so
Um, Great job by them. Another outstanding season. They just couldn't get over the hump this time. Pause with the likes of Paige Beckers. Corey, I'm gonna start with the women's. Um, my mother called me 2 nights before the game and said she was taking Dawn, wanted to see Dawn win again. I told
yeah.
her I was going for Connecticut. I knew it would be a close game. Um, I'm just so happy for Paige with her journey and everything she went through with missing the season with her ACL and everything. And also, I think that this is a fine thing for Juju to see and look at. Juju was going through the same injury Paige went through. I'm hopefully that this can be very inspirational to her comeback, and hopefully she will be competitive again sooner than later. But yeah, I was actually happy that Connecticut pulled it off. The Florida game was insane. Great defense on both ends. I mean, man, what a first half, Corey. I
Yeah.
mean, guys were trying to dunk on each other. I mean, guys were getting their shot blocked. Florida was dunking on niggas like it was insane. I ain't gonna lie, man. What a first half, Corey. I mean, that what did you expect to see? What would you have wanted to even see more out of two number ones? Like it
Yeah.
was insane, Corey. I loved every bit of it. I know I complained about um it not being any underdogs in it this time, and it was just being straight number ones as far as the final four goes. But I love the championship game in both divisions, man. I was definitely not disappointed. Glad that both were thrilling games to watch. Glad to see it, and hopefully next year we can get us a NCAA basketball game. EA 2K, somebody make it ASAP. We have the college football game out now, and it's, guess what? It's almost time for college football 26 to come out. We're here for it too, Cora. We're here for it. But yes, please, let's get let's bring out March Madness again. A March
Why
Madness
not?
basketball game. Why not?
Yep.
Let's bring out college basketball 26, whatever you want to call it, 2K, what 2K, do something because we need it, Corey.
Call it whatever. Yeah.
I mean, what's your thoughts on how everything went down in the college game?
Man, I thought the I was rooting. Gosh, I was so conflicted with the women's because
Yeah,
they got great storylines.
yeah,
If I had to say which one I had to lean more towards, even though I root for Coach Staley,
yeah,
man, like you just said, what Paige buckets went through, and her just that whole get back, like
yeah,
I just felt like it was right. And then I kind of leaned into the fact that South Carolina did win it last year, but I was hoping also for Coach Staley to get her back to back because she haven't had a back to back yet,
yeah,
or whatnot. So the majority of the girls on that squad was there last year when they won the championship. But man, I'm telling you, Paige was basically Caitlin Clark before Caitlin Clark was Caitlin Clark. And and look, you get hurt, man. That's how it works. And Caitlin Clark came out of nowhere. Salute to her. She is what she is, and she's a bad woman. I tell you that right now. But Paige was that before, or whatnot. And man, on the men's side, man, the men's final game was incredible. Of course, it came on too late. I found myself dozing off. Wife had to keep kind of waking me up a few times. But the parts that I do remember, Big Fee, was that first half was incredible. I got pissed off during the second half because I think they literally called like almost 20 fouls. Like it was, they was letting them do what they wanted to do in the first half. I'm like,
hmm
okay, well, cool. They're gonna let them play. Then let them play. But then the second half, everything, the refs just got so tight with the whistle. I'm just like, yo, come on. I thought they was about to destroy the game. I feel bad for my man from Houston.
yeah, yeah.
Who decided not to take the shot and put it
Yeah.
down. And, he couldn't have touched the
Well, he
ball.
couldn't touch it. He couldn't touch it. Yeah.
Couldn't touch it. Man, Kelvin Sampson, man, I mean, he did a hell of a job with Houston, man. I had Florida in my in my March Madness bracket, so I never deviated from that. I thought they was the best team in college all year, or whatnot, man. But Florida got busy. You talking about they only led for like what 5 or 6 minutes,
And this was nothing new with Florida. They had
right?
a bunch of come from behind wins
Comeback
this season.
kids,
Yeah,
yeah.
man. I wanted Houston to get it. Really because I was going for them solely. I ain't gonna say solely, but if I had to pick, I picked them too because Master P's son plays for
That's
Houston.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
yeah. He's on the bench. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's Hersey Miller. I could be wrong, but
Okay.
yeah, yeah, man. He's gonna be a problem. His
Yeah.
son is also he's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a
Yeah.
problem, man. You know what I mean? I was kind of disappointed with just a little bit within the women's side of things. I would love to have got a a Juju Page matchup.
Yeah. Yeah,
God, man, that would have talk about a smoker in my mind, man. That would have, man. But still great. Salute to Connecticut and everything, and
they deserved it, man.
yeah, salute to Paige ending it her college career with a chip.
How about that?
You know what I mean? But ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, it's time for the what the hell segment, baby.
Pew, pew, pew. Hi, man. This segment is created by Big Vito Corleone, executed by yours truly, co-sponsored by the little girl who is not eating daddy's chicken downstairs. She just been picking on it. She just likes to play with the sauce. Corey don't like, she's wasting daddy's good chicken. We've got some nice chicken downstairs that I baked and cut it up in little itty bitty pieces. And she's like, yo, man, give me the pork and beans. Give me the mac and cheese. This chicken dad, I don't know what you're doing with it. But anyway, it's co-sponsored by her, man. And Big V, man, I'm gonna hit cats with the trifecta, man.
Okay.
Because this really pisses me off. And there's to me not one set of blame that I could really just donate to one person. I'll meet you with the trifecta, Big V. You know, Big V, have you ever been out and about? Maybe like in a public place, school, work, wherever, concert, and you see somebody and you're not quite sure if you know them or remember them, or it may just be somebody who you don't know, but man, they looking directly in your direction and they say, hey, and it's like, yo, I say, hey back, but they weren't talking to me. They was talking to who was behind me, Big V.
Mm,
I look like an idiot because I thought you was speaking to me. Well, Big V,
yeah.
that's what happened with with JT Orr. You may say, who the hell is JT Orr? You're right, I didn't know who the hell he was until last night. JT Orr and Luka Doncic of our Los Angeles Lakers that played OKC last night that threw Luka Doncic out of the game while we're up 1 point with 8 minutes to go. Big V, let me tell you something. I'm glad that my little girl was asleep. I try not to curse in front of her. I try my best. I've been really good. I've been real good at self-censorship, but I would have let one flip last night had she been downstairs. Because let me tell you something, man. I was upset. But I know what Cass is thinking. But Corey, you said two people. I thought you just said the trifecta. Oh, I'm glad you asked about the trifecta. The trifecta is a gentleman that goes by the name of the courtside tattoo dude, aka Jeremy Price. You may say, who the hell is that? Well, just like JTO, I ain't know who the hell he was either. He was the fan in Oklahoma who was jawing back and forth with Luka Doncic. So everyone, let me just paint a picture for you. Now, we all know that Luka Doncic is a hothead. That's why he's still getting some of the smoke. Luka Doncic already had a first technical. For those who don't know, if you get a second technical, automatic ejection. Get out, right?
Right.
He already had the first tech, right? And so, with this already being in mind, he drops an F-bomb to the courtside tattoo dude, right? And so, the ref saw that and hit him with the tech. But wait a minute. JT Orr, the referee, thought that he was talking to him, the referee, not the fan. What the fuck? Yo, wait a minute. Oh, time out. We are up 1 point with 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. We were shooting lights out, by the way. I'm just like, why do we keep shooting all these threes? But damn it, we making them. I don't care. Go for it. But JT Orr, aka JT Money, aka JT, out from the City Girls, aka he don't need to referee another game in Lakers history because this guy stinks. So he called a tech, second tech on Luka Doncic. And he was basically like, Luka was like, yo, whoa. I wasn't talking to you, ref. I was talking to the courtside tattoo dude. The ref's like, so? Get out. Like, whoa. Time had stopped. King James and all the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't keep Luka Doncic back in the game again. They said, get out. Vanderbilt ran to his defense. He got a tech. He almost had to get up out of there, Big V. Everyone's trying to explain, yo, he wasn't talking to you, man. He was talking to the courtside tattoo dude. Now, the courtside tattoo dude made an appearance on NBA radio this morning explaining what happened. Now, we have to take this with a grain of salt because, of course, he's going to give his greatest hits version of what happened. So he claims that anytime that Luka or any other high-profile player comes to OKC, he messes with him. Now, is it as bad as Russell Westbrook or anything disrespectful like that? I don't have any evidence of that. The courtside tattoo dude, and I quote, said, I like to deal with the game within the game, Big V. That's what the courtside tattoo guy said. I mentioned that he was short on his shot and he missed it. He turned around and he yelled F you back, and JT Orr saw it at that point and teed him up, the tattoo guy said. So let me get this straight. You tell Luka that his shot is short and he drops the F. But see, now, wait a minute. Because see, now this is why I got to get back on Luka. We need you, bro. You cannot be doing this. Now, even if what the courtside tattoo guy said was even worse, long as ain't nothing disrespectful to your family, for according to him, it's always playful jest. It's always playful banter. I haven't heard anything. The Bluebird haven't showed me videos of anything otherwise, so I have to take what the courtside tattoo guy says at his word. Now, we all know how Luka could get. Let's just, again, I want to be crystal clear on this. We know how Luka could get. So, Luka, you got to be smarter, my guy. We're about to hit the playoffs because we saw how there was a straight up collapse once you was out the game. So that's it for you. Now, getting over to JT Money over here, okay, of the City Girls. Vanderbilt, quote, said, JT stated that I don't want to speak to anybody else. He's like, I'll deal with anybody else on the team, but I'm not dealing with Luka. Oh, whoa. So now it sounds like you got a personal vendetta against Luka. Wait. You don't want to speak to Luka? This is before the second team even came up there. Oh, I don't want to deal with him. Wait a minute. He's on the court. He's a player. Your job as a ref, you do have to explain. So now a Big V, now I do understand. Now, these are all grown men. I don't take well to nobody yelling at me. That's why I never worked in fast food. That's why I never been in the military. Salute to every single military person that's out there that could survive boot camp, because I would have been uncaught a charge, especially if some people, they get in your face, Big V, and that floor flip of a spit comes from that bottom lip and it lands like right on your face. And I got to hear that 4:30 in the morning, Big V, because my bed ain't made up. See, a dishonorable discharge. Respect to all the true military, because I'm not one, because I've been either got my ass whooped or whooped some ass. But either way, some ass whooping is about to commence. Big V, I get it. These refs put up with a lot from these players. They do. I'm not, man. Listen, JT Money could have had a bad day, and he was like, yo, I'm not dealing with it. But, brother, I'm going to be real interested to see if he referee any playoff games. Because even though I felt like Luka, and I get it, because the NBA as a whole, they do not want players cursing at the fans. Even though the fans get away with murder. I get the optics. I get what David Stern would have done had he been alive. I get all of that. Oh, and by the way, Big V, did you know that the technical was rescinded? Did you know that? They rescinded it about 2 hours ago. Yeah.
Really?
But you know what, Big V? I hate when they do that shit.
Me too.
You know what? Because are the Lakers going to fly back to OKC?
Right.
And play the last 8? No, because they're playing against Dallas right now.
Yep.
Right now. They're playing Dallas, right? So they're not going to go back to OKC. So screw you and all your little technical rescindants. The damage has been done. But could you imagine had this happened during a playoff game? Could you imagine if this had happened on a game 7 of a
Mm,
playoff game?
mm.
Now, I'm sorry. This is where Luka has to be better. JT Money has got to be better.
Yep.
Now, Jeremy Price, aka the courtside tattoo dude, he's getting smoked because I just don't like him. I just don't like him. He's smart. He's hella smart, Big V. He got our #1 player booted up out the game. So F you too, Mr. Tattoo Dude. So F you as a staff, record label, and as a motherfucking crew. Get out. Ban him from all courtside games. Period. If I was the commissioner, he would be banned for life. Okay. He may cost us
Mm.
our 3 seed. Get him. Well, Corey, he didn't say anything. Well, do you know that he did not say anything? No, we don't know that. Do we know how entitled some of these courtside fans can be?
Yeah.
Do we not have prior evidence? Now, I get it. I ain't saying he did it on this occasion. He said he's been going back and forth with Luka for the past 2 years, back during the Dallas days. He might be telling the truth. He might be a Boy Scout. Hell, he may be a preacher for all I know. But I tell you what, Big V, get him out. I'm done. I can't. What the hell? I can't deal with none of this stuff anymore. The trifecta, all three. Luka, do better. JT, you fired. Courtside man, get out.
Yeah, yeah, that was a crazy situation last night. That was yeah, yeah, I don't think we've had anything like that in NBA history happen. I'm gonna just say we have not, where the ref mistook the verbal abuse and got mad and threw the player out.
Do we have at least the refs could have gathered up and be
Yeah,
like, yo, man, yo, look. He says he wasn't talking to you. Give him a fair break, but just say, hey, man, look. And I get it. Luka got to do better. But there won't no conference. There won't no nothing. And then it
yeah,
ends up rescinded. The damage is done. We got
yeah.
to win 2 more games to clinch third place, Big V. We need those games.
Hopefully, we will win tonight. We're filming this here on Wednesday, and like Corey said, they are playing the Mavericks right now. You know what I mean? So, yo, we're gonna get out of here and go peep that out. You know what I mean? Yo, we appreciate y'all tapping in and tuning in. Have you be tapping and tuning in with you watching the clips on social media or going directly to that YouTube channel. We appreciate y'all so much. And as usual, Corey, you know I appreciate you, my G. You know what I mean?
Likewise, my guy.
Y'all know how. Oh, and by the way, we won't be filming next week. I will be in California on tour. You know what I mean? I'll be out there in San Francisco and Sebastopol. You know what I mean? Doing what I do. But we love
All
y'all.
right.
You know what I mean?
Peace.
Peace.